Panthers in exile. We were there for 2 years, and things started deteriorating with the government there, who was a revolutionary government and aided revolutionary parties from all over the world. So people in Tanzania started telling them, y'all need to come here. This is a socialist government. It's a Pan-African government.
Julius Nyerere.
Julius Nyerere, Ujima, all of that. So we decided to go there. And we were welcomed by the government as freedom fighters and as exiled people. So to make a long story shorter, we became homesteaders. We had to learn how to do all of that. We knew nothing about farming, sister.
We're going to get into that.
Okay.
Because I just want to just backtrack just for a moment, because I was honored to meet you and Brother Pete and your children. They were little then, way back in 1987.
Yeah.
And that was about 15 years, I think, after you had settled in Tanzania. And I remember you talking about this great center that you and Pete were going to be, and you were in the process of visualizing it and building. And then I came back about 32 years later, a couple of years ago, with Mama Lydia's African Safari Group. Yeah. And the United African Alliance Community Center was in full swing. It was thriving. There were beautifully painted portraits of Black Panthers and other leaders, all adorning all of the buildings. There was a school, a shop, an art center, a well. There were historical figures. I mean, tell us about that part of the journey, the homestead. I mean, I know only pork and all like that, but y'all was raising pigs. I mean, you were surviving, you know. So tell us about that and making sauce and how the center came to be. So tell us about that whole part of your journey.
The center came to be basically because the elders in our villages in the same, they saw all the innovative work that we were doing, even using termite mound soil to make the blocks to build our first house. And Brother Pete, they would see him up on the windmill that he learned how to build. And that served to generate our electricity. We didn't have any electricity. We didn't have any running water. We didn't have any of that. And you mentioned the well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that well. Brother Geronimo.
Yes. Our dear brother Geronimo, after he had got out of prison, after having been in there for 27 years,
unjustly
incarcerated. As a matter of fact, in those days, the government compensated him with a lot of money. Yeah. So when he got out, he came to us and asked us what was our greatest need. Yeah. And at that time, our greatest need was water. Yeah. Not only just for us, but for people for miles around who had to go fetch water, a bucket of water who might serve four people in a family, 4 or 5 people. So when we were able to dig that well, the first thing we did was to put public access to that water. I'm telling you, it's still there. Many people come there, and say,
come and get their water.
Yes. So it has been a journey, you know, and that journey has involved empowering the youth in our community.
Tell us about that, the youth, because there were youth all over the place. You had school there, and you know, tell us about that whole integration.
Yes, and the first classes that we had, again, because the elders in the community wanted the youth to experience this, were computer classes. Then we started teaching English classes. That we were asked to do that. And me being an artist, I was like, we got to put some art up in here. So we started teaching fine art, sculpture. You've seen some of those sculptures, sewing, bead work. And then we have a studio, Peace Power Productions. And so the youth, you know, so many youth would come there and they would be so shy, you know, had never experienced painting, none of that. And then I noticed you put a microphone in your hand, you give them access to paints and all that, and sewing and all that. And they were just struck because they felt that they were empowered. The community looked at them like that. So then we started teaching carpentry. We started teaching because MZ is a genius. Brother Pete is a genius, you know. And he started teaching electrical work, plumbing, all of that. We knew that these youth had to have entrepreneurial skills. And that's what we did. All our teachers were volunteers. Many of them were students that come back to teach, to share. Sharing knowledge for community development. Development is our motto. I could go on and on, but I'm not going to do it.
We're going to go in, it just flows because, you know, we've talked about your political journey with Black Panther Party. We've talked about your journey to the mother continent. We talked about the unjust exile of your husband, Baba Nze, Pete O'Neill. We've talked about the phenomenal development of UAACC, United African Alliance Community Center. I want to now talk just a little bit about you, Mama C, as a cultural, as an artistic, as a healing messenger, and your spiritual journey as Ia Oshutunde Fasuyi, and just how you happen to connect with our own Ia Mari of Ile Imole.
Yes, and I still feel the blessing of having met Ia Mari, and we met in Bagamoyo, didn't we? Yes, and observing her different rituals that she offered to the community there. And I saw how her spirit is so in tune with my spirit. I knew her from the very beginning. And I learned so much from her. Of course, I was raised in the Baptist church and experienced a lot of the Pentecostal church. So I always tell people I carry that inside me also. So when I started learning about the Orisha spiritual path, that just grabbed me. And I was initiated to Oshun, and later I was initiated to the ABS. And then I was initiated to Society, the Gungun are our ancestors. Yes. And I do what I can to spread that to the youth. And you know, the youth that really, really embrace it so much is the hip hop community. They are so interested. We have workshops. And Nana Sula has come there and done Orisha song workshops. All kinds of things. They see us doing our rituals. We invite them to join in. You know, I have my paintings of many of the Orisha there in Oshatunde's garden. And we have an ancestor wall, an ancestor garden where my dad, Sterling Emmanuel, Senior, he's laid to rest right there. So people see the way I carry myself, and especially the youth, and they know I love hip hop. I love conscious hip hop. So they're like, Mama C's into that, and she's into her spirituality. It must be something to that. So I'm so happy to share, you know,
So, you know, Mama C, when I was there, the second time I was there, you know, we had movie night there, and the big, what was on the screen was Black Panther, Wakanda, you know, and I know that you have often characterized what you're doing there at the center, that that's Wakanda right there. I don't know if you want to just say something about that. And I know people have always been talking about, you know, Pete and his legal situation and that he should come back and apply for clemency. And if it comes, it's good, but he basically says he's at peace. I mean, talk to us about that.
He's at peace. You know, we have youth coming from all over the world, you know, to learn from him and to learn from me also. And the work that we're doing is so fulfilling. We haven't said that he founded the Leaders of the One Children's Home,
Well, talk to us about that.
Yes, Leaders of Tomorrow Children. Well, we've been raising 28 children for the last 12 years, empowering them to be leaders. Say your question.
Yeah, no, you answer. It's like what you're doing there. You're living the Wakanda that we saw.
Yes, that's what I was saying. You know, many people who might go into exile, it could be like a living hell, but for us, it's heaven, it's paradise. All the trees that we planted, all of that, you know. So I always tell people, we can make our own Wakanda. And we have, you know, and we invite people to come there and share in that and live that and get inspired by it. You know, so if they come back to the States, some don't. Yeah, they like to stay there. But when they come back, they can spread the word that we can do what we can in our own communities here in America and other parts of the world. Build our Wakanda, y'all.
Build our Wakanda right here on this plane. That's what I'm talking about. Don't go anywhere because we got some more coming. For right now, we want you to do is, as you hear this inspiration from Mama C and what she's building there, we need to kind of help her build that. You know what I'm saying? And we want you to take out your phones because we want to help to donate. Okay, we want to do a Cash App, and we're going to have the donations come to Ile Imole, and they're going to give the donations to you and your center, so you can continue that Wakanda on earth. And it's on your screen, Cash App, $Ile Imole. But we also have PayPal as well. info@ileimole.com, and you know, Ile Imole, ILEIMOLE. That's what we're talking about. And as we're doing that, also, you know, your donations help to support. They help to support what's going on. It helps to support Mama C. Been coming over to the States for years, several times a year. And you know, I think what you said, he can't come back, but Mama C, I know you come back and forth. And that support is so very necessary. And we really, really do want to thank again our phenomenal sponsors, our sponsor, University and Thai Tours, and those emails are Thai Tours. I have it right here somewhere.
And while you're looking for that, I'd like to say we have never gotten grants. It's always been support from people who believe in the work from all over the world. To believe with all our hearts, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, our people, and in the righteousness and in the victory of our struggle. So that's efa.university. That's our sponsor. Our other sponsor is ThaiTours.org. And Mama C, also, I want to make sure while we're in this particular segment here, that people know how to contact you. And may I give your email for them, please? It is Mama Charlotte's Music, 2 @yahoo.com. We're going to hear her music a little bit in a little bit. But Mama Charlotte's Music, 2 @yahoo.com. And she has us PayPal directly, right? PayPal direct is boostalife71 @gmail.com. That's B as in boy, U, S as in Sam, A, life, LIFE 71 @gmail. And the website for the United African Alliance Community Center is www.uaacc.net. That's uaacc.net. And I'm on Facebook.
And you're on Facebook. Oh my goodness, yes indeed. And you're on Facebook, and that's probably under Charlotte. On Facebook, Charlotte Hill O'Neill, in parentheses, Oshitunde Fasuyi. And I'm going to let you pronounce that. We're going to bring our elders in a moment.
We're gonna go to
But just before we do that, I do want Baba Uchenna to put that first poll up on the screen. So as we're making this transition, folks can fill out the answers to that first poll that is there, so we can see how much information you have learned or what you might not have known before you came up in here. It only takes a couple of seconds to fill out the poll.
That's a good idea.
So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're talking about technology. You know, that's what we're talking about. You know, here we do want to really thank everyone, Medasi, Madupe, for the donations that you have given and that you have provided. And we also want to let you know that we are going to have some giveaways. We're going to have some giveaways. We'll be taking your names and the giveaways will be coming. We're going to be having some giveaways with respect to Mama Charlotte, homage, Charlotte O'Neill, AKA Mama C. This is just a wealth of beauty and knowledge and passion with respect to poems that Mama Charlotte has. And she has some other books, giveaways as well. And I have a couple as well too. Shameless plug. Black Power, Black Glory, My Audacious Quest for Justice. Shining Legacy, you remember this from way back when I was there in 1987. Shining Legacy, this has been reprinted. Three Tales of Wisdom and The Adventures of Kojo and Amma. So we will be having these giveaways. Uchenna, Baba, have folks finished filling out that poll?
Responses are still coming in. We have 10 out of 34. Anybody else? We got 11.
Oh, responses are still coming in. Okay.
I think that might be it. Is there anybody? Okay. One more.
So can I read the question and you give the answer as to the percentage of people what they responded? Is that okay, Baba Uchenna?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first question was, I have heard of Mama C before this event. What did the results look like there? Are you ready for the results?
I'm ready for the results. The poll is still open if anyone wants to go ahead and continue filling it out, but I'll read the results as they stand. 64% had not heard of Mama C.
Oh, 64% had not heard of it.
Had not.
I'm glad we have Ile Imole, aren't you wrong? Yeah. But now those 64% have heard, and they're going to tell the rest of them. Okay, the second question was, I have been to Tanzania before. What were the results, Baba Uchenna?
13% of attendees have been to Tanzania before.
Only 13%. Okay, Thai tours. You know, they need to get on up over there to you so that they can get to Tanzania, so they can visit you over there. Okay, so the next question is, I have stayed at Baba Pete and Mama Charlotte's compound. Yes or no?
Okay, so we had another respondent send in saying they'd been to Tanzania. So it's the same percentage. It's higher, right? 16% of people have been to Tanzania, and all of those respondents stayed at Mama C's and Baba.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, this was a multiple choice. I hope that worked out right. It said Mama C is, and choose all you think apply. The answers were, Mama C is a former member of the Black Panther Party, a poet, a visual artist, a musician, a mother, a wife, a priestess. How do we come with how do people respond to that
okay,
one?
so I'll give a tiered ranking. So the highest percentage of individuals, 86% of attendees, said that she was a former member of the Black Panther Party, a visual artist, and a wife. Then the next tier, 76% of attendees said that she was a poet, a musician, and a mother. And then finally, the lowest percentage of attendees, 71%, said, it was multiple choice. So people chose multiple, right? That's why the percentages don't equal 100. The final 71% of attendees said that she was a priestess. So it seems that very few people believe that Mama C is a priestess.
Well, so now they know. Yes, indeed. I know we shall in here. I have seen the video of Panther in Africa about Pete O'Neill. Yes or no?
86% of attendees have seen that video.
Really? Wow. 86% have seen the video of Panther in Africa. Why can't Pete O'Neill come back to the United States? Choose one. Number one, he committed murder. Number two, he renounced the citizenship of the US. Number three, if he returned, he would be put in prison for allegedly carrying a gun across state lines. And number four, he stormed the Capitol on January 6th and then escaped to Africa. What one did folks choose?
Well, I'm overjoyed to say that not a single attendee got tripped up by that. No one thought he stormed the Capitol. No one thinks that he committed murder. 81% of attendees got it correct, that he will be put in prison for carrying a gun across state lines. 19% of attendees said that he renounced his US citizenship.
Yeah. Okay, and have you heard of COINTELPRO before, yes or no?
This one is interesting. 86% of attendees have heard of COINTELPRO. So it's interesting how many have heard of COINTELPRO versus have heard of Mama C. And thankfully, we're having this event to even out those percentages.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Baba Uchenna. We'll have our last poll at the end. But right now, I'm just really honored to bring before us our elders of Ile Imole. We're going to engage in some elder discussion with the elders of Ile Imole. Mama C, here we have Mother. We have Mother Ajua. We have Mama Akua Barber, and we have Mama Ajua Rose. And so, there are interconnections with respect to what we do over here spiritually and what happens on the continent spiritually. Just a little, I'm raising me questions, just a little back and forth. If you have questions or comments or anything like, just engage, elders. Y'all the elders. I'm still, I'm a youngin'.
Okay, Mother Ajua. Mama C, I just can't explain how honored I am to be in your presence. And I'm just so full right now. While you were talking, I could remember a lot of the struggles that was going on. In fact, I've been in the struggle also since I was a teenager. In fact, I met Nikichi as a teenager in a study group studying African history, Black history. So I know that the road has been hard. And like I said, I'm really, really full right now. But as you were talking, I was thinking a lot of the things that you shared with us that went on back then is still happening today. It may have a new look, even a new attitude, but the struggle continues and it still happens today. And I'd like, if you don't mind, to basically speak to our young people, because like I said, the struggle continues. People have to take up the banner. We have to pass the baton on to the next group. What advice would you give our young people? And I'm glad you shared about the hip hop, because they're the one that actually kind of still talking about our struggle and what to do, even our spirituality. Yeah. So what would you say to them, and what charge would you give them in order to continue?
I'd like to say it to them in a song, a short song. Don't give up. Don't give up, y'all. Don't you give up. Life may get rough and things may get tough, but don't you give up. And I also like to ask the elders who have all this wisdom, who have all this knowledge, whether it's from turning urban lots into gardens, whether it's teaching math or reading or any of that, we got to join hands with the youth. We have to. And one of the ways I found to join hands effectively with the youth is through hip hop. That's the language of the global community. Everywhere I've ever gone, hip hop It's a thing that draws you, and then you can kind of slide in this knowledge once you have them like that. Yes, yes. Yes.
Well, I'm not going to answer any particular question, but I'm going to be transparent in that before, well, Ile Imole decided we would have this program, I had not heard of Mama C. Now, I heard of the Black Panthers because at 18, I was serving food at the Black Panthers breakfast. Okay, I grew up in the Baptist church, and it was a natural leap from the Baptist church to Orisha, to African traditional. But I do want to say that the minute I saw you, and you know, we met upstairs, I knew that you and I were sisters from another mother.
That's right.
Okay. I recognized her jewelry. I knew the person who made it. Okay. So I just want to say it's been really good to listen to how you feel and the things that you do. And my grandson is a hip hop artist. In fact, I just bought him a big anthology of hip hop from African Museum. But you know, hip hop, I'm always hearing the hip hop, the music, and whatnot. And that's, we have to say to our youth, we have to understand and listen to what it is that they're saying, so that they will listen to what it is that we're saying.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, this has been a wonderful experience. I'm just so honored to have met you. And I had wondered initially about what the changes were from when we moved to Tanzania to now, but you kind of explained that in your discussion. So it's, I was just wondering if you had additional information about how the culture or the things that has changed since you first moved to Tanzania to the way things are now.
When we first went to Tanzania, it was very strongly socialist, you know, and Tanzania is like 70% farming community. And that is slowly changing, even though the youth who are living and working in town, everybody has their own shamba. Their shamba is their village. So, you know, everyone respects the land and they know that we need to be on the land. And when I'm talking to the youth, I make sure that they understand the nature spirits that surround us. The Orisha, I refer to it as the nature spirits, the spirits of nature, and that helps people respect nature. We also have our first female president. Yeah, so, and she seems to be pretty progressive, you know, and the population of females are standing up for their rights. So that's something that has changed more and more also. And more youth are kind of turning away from Western culture and embracing the traditional cultures of their own families and communities. I think that's beautiful. And again, that's even in hip hop. You know, and y'all need to know when I'm saying hip hop, I'm talking about conscious hip hop. I'm not talking about gangster rap. No, but that ain't hip hop. Yes. And they're getting more and more exposed to conscious Africans who come there from the diaspora. So that's good too. And they see how we embrace the culture. And we brought it back to places that had denied the cultures of Africa, you know. So I'm proud to be a part of that. I'm proud to see so many brothers and sisters coming back, you know, even if it's just to visit. Yes, even though many are starting to to repatriate there, to live there. Yeah, so that's good too. Yes, yes.
Mama, you have one more?
Yeah, I just want to say that music basically is our culture.
Yes.
So if you go back to even in the past, you know, we've used music to, you know, like I'm Black and Proud,
yes,
and different songs that just as we moved into struggles, the song addressed our struggles. That's and right. Where our next path should be. So it's only common that hip hop now is now talking about our spirituality and what it is we do. And I just want to say one other thing that I know in Africa that spirituality and religion, as some may want to refer to, is a way of life. Yeah. It's not something that you just do on Sunday. Yeah. It's how you live your life every day. So could you talk a little bit about how practicing spirituality, the African, how it has effect and helped you in your programs?
You know, and we give you know, our programs encompass many tribes or communities. I like the word tribe. And everybody has their own way of expressing their spirituality. And so we have workshops where the youth can say, well, this is what my grandmother told me about this. Yes, you know, and these are the foods that we eat. And sometimes we go to what I refer to our ocean river, right, which is actually Usa River, and we have our rituals there in the forest. And one of the things that I saw, when I poured libations, for instance, in the Maasai community, they use milk instead of water, you know, but they see how so much of the spiritual practices that we practice mirror theirs, you know, and that's always a point of discussion. I think that's beautiful. They say we have so many things in common, you know, even in the Islamic community there. You know, they still revere the ancestors. In the Christian community, they revere the ancestors, you know, they lift up the ancestors. And we even have trees. We have huge trees on some of our land that we were gifted, where the women come and give offerings to that tree and say that is a part of giving offerings to the Creator and to the nature spirit. So it's always pointed out that we're one. You know?
Unity of the continent and the diaspora all coming together as one. Yes. And I think this will be a good time to share with us a little bit of some of that cultural unity from across the ocean to over here. And tell us about this wonderful string instrument that is here, just what it is called, and tell us just what you want to share for us. And as you're getting that together, after that, we're going to hear from some other elders in the community, you know, conversation back and forth, and we're going to conclude with our final song by our dear sister, Soyini. So, Mama C, share with us. I can hold this.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
So this is a nyatiti, and it's an 8-string lyre as opposed to a harp. We have nyatiti, a lot of nyatitis in East Africa, even in Ethiopia. Sometimes when
sounds like you're saying Nikichi. What's the name?
Nyatiti.
Oh, Nyatiti. Maybe almost like that.
And the interesting thing about this instrument is that it used to be taboo for women to play. Oh. It was used in many ceremonies and rituals, and even when a man would pass away, they would play this when a man was born. But now a few women play.
So you're one of those few?
I'm one of the few, you know, who was inspired to play it by Susan and Auntie Sanaa and women like that who have carried on these traditions. Normally, not normally, traditionally it's played on the ground, but many artists, they don't play it on the ground anymore. They play it like this. So you know, I'm gonna ask our attendees to sing a little part with me.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm gonna start. We're the knowers. We're the dreamers, and we are the sowers. Indigo children, the teachers and the preachers. And we're the chosen. We are the artists, and we're the seekers, and we walk. We walk, y'all. We walk the way of a new world. Now this is what y'all gonna sing. Let me sing it first. We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk the way of a new world. Now here we go, y'all. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk the way of a new world. One more time. We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk the way of a new world. The way of a new world. The way of a new world. I'll give thanks, y'all. I give thanks, I give thanks. Oh, 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 oh. We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk. We're a new world, we're a new world. Yeah, put it on my forehead. Oh, we give thanks, y'all. Oh, yeah,
Ancestors in the house. Absolutely. I know that's not going to be your only one. You got to bless us with another one up in here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, let's do it. Let's hear it. You got your book right here?
Thank you so much. So much. Yeah. That piece right here.
Mama Charlotte Hill O'Neill. Mama C. Mama Africa. Up in here. Ile.
Can I hold this up?
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, I won't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remember Ile Imole. Ifa University and Tyler. That's an arts institute. I give thanks, Sister Kate. Yeah. I still pronounce your name in the Kiswahili.
Well, no, you're correct. And it's a long story about my name, but it's all good.
It's all good. Sometimes it just gets to be too much. Too much heartbreak, too much sorrow, but we must also celebrate the positive in order for us to keep strengthening each other. The violence and terror and fascism are not the only things in our lives. We are also creatives and inventors and artists and knowers of the highest degree. That must always be acknowledged and embraced. It is who we are. We must not forget that, y'all. We must have examples of light that people can embrace and get courage from an artist. Thank you, thank you. And artists are often at the forefront of that. We must never stop celebrating the God that is in us. Don't let the oppressors and fascists take our joy away.
That's right, that's right.
They want to keep us in despair, knowing that defeats and depletes our spirit to fight against those evils. Even in the midst of fighting back, we must experience joy. It is what charges our collective batteries. Never let them take our joy away. Even that is resistance. I give thanks to be in y'all's presence. You know, all these godly spirits, all these blessed spirits. And I'm going to take back what I'm carrying in my heart all the way back to Tanzania. And it's going to be like a boomerang of love. Going from y'all to us over there to y'all. That's how we do it.
That's right. I like that, a boomerang
of love.
And I want to kind of boomerang over here to Ile Imole. Come on up over here, Ile Imole.
Okay. Ekaleo. All right. We are so blessed, my sister, my love, to have you with us. I've had the joy of spending the last few days with you, bonding and connecting, and it has been so wonderful, enjoying tea and just exchanging. So we have a small award to present to you, because this event this evening actually kicks off our Soulful Empowerment Series. It is a wonderful opportunity for us to connect as a community. Soulful empowerment is about awareness. It's about commitment. It's about devotion to our common cause so that we can cross the bridge, meet our brothers and sisters, and work towards enhancement, upliftment of humanity. So we want to present to you the Ile Imole Soulful Empowerment Award. It says Ile Imole Soulful Empowerment Award, Mama Iya, Charlotte O'Neill, 2021. So I present this to you, Iya. I think they wanted to get some pictures of this. Love you.
Love you. Oh, look at here. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Everybody's still trying to take pictures.
Yes.
Close up of that.
Okay, here we go.
Yes,
I kept looking, you know, but everybody gotta wear these masks, and it's hard to tell who's who. Okay, thanks. Oh,
That looks like something right out of my college.
You see that? It does. Yeah, it's a jewel. Yeah.
Ile Imole and the United African Alliance Community Center, connecting the dots on both sides of the ocean. No separation.
Santini.
I think this is a good segue to bring up some of our who might want to have something to say. Mama C already called out Baba Zulu from Ujamaa African School and Shop. Ooh, Baba Zulu was over there in Tanzania many moons ago. I don't know if you have a few words that you might want to say. We have Baba Kalechi, also from Appeal Incorporated. We have loads of people here from the community. And all of our mamas and our confos and ears with our spiritual traditions. Mama Lydia with the African Safari group. So Baba Zulu,
Mama, my cousins in the house.
Your cousin, who are your cousins in the house? Come on, introduce your cousins.
Yeah, the Hill Jones family. Yes. That's such a
Say hi. Hi. Like that, I got into the averages here. I wanted to say that this is a very powerful lady here. She was so powerful, she persuaded her husband not to come back to the United States. Let's stop in Africa, the homeland, the land of the great, land of African people. It just reminded me, when we was in Africa, we had met the President Jewish Mary daughter, and she's told her father that there was a school in Washington, D.C. named Ujamaa. He said, no, there's no such thing. And you know, he had just started the Ujamaa village too. And so he got in touch with us and he wanted to invite us. So we took 45 parents with students with us to Tanzania. So about a month and a half. Even at that time, I was planning on moving to Africa and staying there. But after talking to the president, he said, Baba Zulu, if you're doing what my daughter said, what you were telling me, what you're doing in the United States of America, stay there. Continue to teach your people. Teach them that there are Africans. Africans are born in America. Then later I met the powerhouse lady here, and old Peter O'Neill. How is Pete, my sister?
He's okay. He's 81.
Oh, give my regard. I'm not going to hold it like long. I know there's some other people to speak, but I'm so happy, very happy that people invited me to come here to see you again. I'm sure I'll see you again. And thank you for creating the Ujamaa School with you, Tanzania County Town. Yeah. The students, we have a video where we show the river line there. Sante Sana and Dawson.
Baba Single, I see you on your way up there. UNIA, come on,
Mama C. I'm going to be real quick. But as the Gambiite that I am, I would be remiss if I didn't say that Brother Tau told us. Brother Tau, who you just left in San Diego, he's the president of our newest division in the world. Well, we're doing a big thing tonight about stopping the violence.
Wow.
What I will say to you and to Brother Pete, because I know you all are one, we are not only with you, we're behind you, we're going to support you. And when we speak about the Garvey movement in the UNIA, we're not just talking about one entity.
That's right.
Black Star Action Network International, we have several people in Tanzania. All right, Brother Hurul Farah just built a movement that's going to fund people that's doing the kind of work like you're doing, called the 25th Dynasty. All of those groups are with you. The seeds that you planted, UNP, are growing all over the world. So we love you, we with you, and nobody better not mess with you.
Hey.
You got Black Seeds Calendar. You were in there.
Okay.
That's last year. That's wow. Coming up.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, Baba Kalechi from Appeal. Come on up here, brother.
Sana, thank you so much for really the opportunity to be in your presence. It's an honor. The work that you have done, continue to do, you and Baba Pete, and I mentioned you earlier we were talking about omnibus. I mean, I think that you all are forces of nature.
Yes.
And the effect of the work that you devoted your life to on the continent, so that Africans know that there are conscious African-centered people in the world, which is something that most Africans born on the continent don't realize until they meet one. So your presence there is really a vibration that travels across the continent. I'm really grateful to be in your presence, and I'm really thankful for this tour you're doing right in this part of the world. So thank you so much, and send our love back to Baba P and all the folks on the compound, all the folks you talking about Rwanda, go through some stuff there. Mama Amicus, all of them. Thank you so much for that work, and go with our love and go with our support. And know the ancestors, of course, are with you. And thank you so much for your spiritual work that you're doing as well, which is critical to where we have to go and the growth we have to have as a people. And thank you, Ile Marie, for putting this program together. Ile Imole is a force in and of itself, and we're thankful for it, and thankful for the work it continues to do in the community.
And we want to see if there are any Q&A from here in the attendees or on the Zoom. If we have any Q&A, or Chinna, you can let us know. Any questions here in the room. But while we're looking for that, I just want to acknowledge Baba Kaba. Thank you, Madasi, for having Mama C and Ile on your phenomenal show, Africa Beach Club, a whole 2 hours on Monday. That helps to spread the word, and it's so very important. And we thank you so very much. And again, we thank our sponsors, Thai Travel and IFA University. So are there any questions in the chat, Baba Uchenna?
Yes, Mama, there are some questions.
Okay, can you speak up just a little bit so we can hear a little better on this level?
Yes, let me turn this mic up. Is that any better?
Kind of.
Kind of better? Okay. I don't know why. I can come a little bit closer. How's that?
Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, get up.
Cool. So the first question, how can activism, I know this was addressed a little bit, but this person would like a little bit more clarity. How can activism in our communities go hand in hand with African spirituality?
Okay, how can activism in our communities go hand in hand with African spirituality?
I mean, you can't separate. It's just a natural combination. It's who we are, and the things that we do, whether it's feeding children or teaching them different skills or whatever, all that is wrapped in our spirituality. That's doing the things that we are meant to be. That's walking in our purpose. When we share our knowledge, when we share, y'all, that's all a part of it. You can't separate it. So it's not anyhow, it is. Yeah.
All right, when we share, Madasi. Is there another question from the chat, Baba Uchenna?
Yes, the next question was, can Mama C talk about how she and Baba Pete are documenting their work so it can be carried on by subsequent generations? They also had a follow-up question. Are they connecting with any other expats on the continent?
Okay, how are you connecting, you're documenting your work? and are you connecting with other expatriates on the continent?
Oh yes, when expatriates come to Tanzania, you know, they always come to the center and we discuss ways that we can collaborate. We do collaborate. As far as documenting our work, there is an organization in Birmingham, Alabama. I just came from several days there. They have formed an organization called Hello Tana, which is a collaborative effort between Tanzania and Birmingham. You know, it got started because there was a sister there, Sister Stacy, who was looking through some of our archives and saw how they are in such bad shape. You know, we got newspaper clippings, magazines, videos, DVDs, all of that documents our journey. So they have taken it upon themselves to build a museum, a living museum there at UAACC, and the programs that they were arranging and promoting while I was there for 5 days just a week ago. You know, they have already started, and some of them work in museums, so they know how to preserve, you know, these different archives. And they got T-shirts, they got posters. Matter of fact, I got some posters here. They got all kind of things, and the purpose is to preserve our legacy. And in the meantime, we're teaching some of the youth who we've already started to pass the torch to them, because like I said, Brother Peter's 81 and I'm 70. We ain't spring chickens anymore, you know, and we don't want that legacy of UAAC to stop. So we're working on different fronts that all combine to help preserve the legacy, help preserve the work. So I'm grateful for that they took that upon themselves to do that, you know? Yeah, that's something.
I love it. It is something. Absolutely. It is something. Yes, absolutely. It is. Yes, indeed. Thanks. Is there another question, Baba Uchenna?
Yes, we have 3 more. So y'all can cut me off at any point. But the next one,
we're going to just hear those 3 very quickly. We're going to hear Soyini and do our final poll because we have some giveaways. So let's hear the 3 questions. Well, let's one by one, but quickly.
Okay. So the next one is, did Mama C and her husband know Geronimo Pratt, Assata Shakur, and the Cleavers? And if so, they ask, can she share any experiences of working with them?
Okay, did you know Geronimo Pratt, Assata Shakur, and the Cleavers? And if you want to share briefly any experiences with them, we're going to leave the number 2 out. Oh, okay.
All right. Yes, some of you y'all were here when I said the brother Geronimo came to Tanzania and funded our well, our water well. Geronimo loved it so much that he said, I want to live here. And Brother Pete helped him build a house, and he lived there for, I think, 6 years before he passed away. And when he passed away, people came from all over. We had a memorial for him right there at the center. And there are even little dukas. Those are stores, you know, where people in the community would name their stores after Geronimo, you know. So he made a huge impact, not only on our lives, but lives of so many young people. Of course, all Panthers know Assata. And we lived with Eldridge and Kathleen in Algeria. They're the ones who first formed the international section of Black Panther. Matter of fact, I saw Kathleen 3 days ago, and her daughter Joju. And you know, and Geronimo's son is now in college. You know, so he's in college. I'll show you a picture. So we give thanks for that, and we continue to work with our comrades who are working on political prisoners. I just spoke to Eddie Conway today. You know, there's so much going on, and we as elders continue to do what we can to uplift our community.
And one of the things Brother Pete always says is that focus on the political prisoners who are still behind cages and behind bars. Focus on those. He said, don't worry about him. He said, he's all right. So I do want to see him to be able to come home whenever he wants to come home. But he said the people who've been locked up, Sunyata Kohli has been locked up almost 50 years. Matulu Shakur, Varansa Bowers, Mumia Bujamal, the list goes on and on. And I do have some postcards for people to do for political prisoners. What were the last two questions? Give those both at the same time, and we will wrap up this section.
The last two questions are, do they still have the radio station? And where can we buy prints of Mama C's Orisha paintings?
All right. Do you still have a radio station? And where can they purchase prints of your Orisha paintings? I didn't know you had Orisha paintings. Check this out.
She will now.
Okay.
No, we don't have a radio station now, but we have a very dynamic recording studio. And yeah, I better get on those Orisha paintings. They're all around the center on the walls, but I don't have anything online. That's gonna change.
So we are going to have the last song with Soyini, and then we're going to do the final poll. And just before we put on the song, this is Mama Charlotte's latest book, just off the press. It's called Homage, Charlotte O'Neal, aka Mama C. And we're going to be having giveaways of that, as well as Shining Legacy, The Adventures of Kojo and Amma, Retails of Wisdom, and Black Power, Black Lawyer. So let's hear from Soyini again, and we can just catch our breath and close our eyes and just soak in the beautiful sounds of Soyini.
Strong enough to take the pain. It's been inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name's Aunt Sarah. My name's Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name's Saffronia. My name is Saffronia. My skin is tan. My hair is fine. My hips invite your daddy. My mouth My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see, because my life has been rough. I'm awfully bitter these days, because my parents were slaves. What do they call me? My name is Peaches.
Peaches. Wow. I just love that. Thank you so very much, my sister Soyini. And Baba Uchenna, right now, if you can put on that last poll that we have, you can put that on the screen, the last poll. And I know you're going to come up with some kind of algorithm as to who wins what. I'm not sure how you're going to do that, but I know you have the names and emails of everyone. And I think folk will find out at another time if they want, unless you have another way of letting us know. But take the time right now and fill out the poll, the final poll that is there. And while you are filling out the poll, I just want to thank everyone for coming out here today. Thank you, Mama C. I mean, you just don't know. It's just, oh my goodness. I mean, it's not like I don't see you because I see you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But to see you right here in the flesh, it is just wonderful and beautiful. Your children, Malcolm and Stormy, I knew them when they were little. They're all grown now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He was a younger man when I met him. He 81 years old now, you know. And, you know, Bobby and Zay, you know, it's passed on. But we want to also thank all of the attendees that came here, all of our community folk and our community elders and our spiritual leaders. Darcy, thank you so very much for coming and joining in this soulful empowerment series, the first of the series of Ile Imole. We really want to thank our sponsors again. Oh, my Baba, oh, IFA University. I mean, y'all need to go to that website. IFA University, IFA.University, IFA.University. There's so much information there, so much knowledge. Y'all, you can get a degree. You can get a degree. Thai tours. I mean, you know, I think 60-something% of the attendees said they want to get on over there to Africa, to Tanzania. So I know that you're going to take care of them nice and good, nice and well. So Baba Uchenna, how are we with the poll? Do we need a few more seconds?
Let's give it a few more seconds. When we have
a few more seconds. We really want to thank the family of Mama Charlotte. You know, you can just kind of stand up, you know, just who you are, just thank the family. I don't know if we can put the video over there. Oh my goodness, everyone about connections on both sides of the ocean. Oh my goodness, yes. Thank you so very much for coming. And again, Mama Lydia Curtis, thank you for the opportunity that you provided for me to come back 32 years later after I first went there to Tanzania to meet with you all. So how are we now with the with our final poll, Baba Uchenna?
And we have some.
Did you want to?
We have some giveaways for those that can answer some questions and get some of these as well.
Oh, okay. Well, what I'll do is when I call out the questions, I'll see if the attendees can answer, and then we'll see how the people on the Zoom answer. I mean,
get the first giveaway so we can
say that again.
Give us the first giveaway. Which one?
Okay.
Which is first? So
we're going to be taking names in it because this is going to be
she has to give away.
I have this book,
and what else?
homage, and I have a poster,
Oh, let's see that poster.
This
Nice.
is also made by the Hello Tana group in Birmingham.
Oh, okay, with all those Adegwa symbols?
Yes, this one and this one. Music is My Medicine by Charles Oakley.
Oh my goodness.
And they surprised me with this. I didn't know they were going to do so. These can be fine.
Beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
And here's a smaller one too.
And I know when we were over there, we did, I don't know what it was. I mean, Black Panthers, but it was on silk screen.
Yeah.
Whatever the process was. Batik, was that? Yeah.
Batik. Yes.
Creativity abounds.
Yes, we got 4. 1, 2.
Let's go with the. Go with the channel.
Okay, Babu Chena.
Yes. Hold on, give me just a second. Okay, I had to mute out some other attendees. So I have a list of individuals that were randomly chosen, but I just heard you all say something about answering questions. So do we want to call the people and see if they answer the poll question correctly? And if they do, they get the gift? Or do we, how do we want to do this?
Okay, I think that's going to, let's just go through the poll questions and we're going to figure out some kind of algorithm during the reception part of the poll.
So I did that algorithm. I have a list of people who-
Oh, you did that?
I have the winners, but y'all said, yeah, I heard y'all say people to answer questions for gifts. I just wanted to make sure we weren't shifting. So you want me to go ahead and-
Okay, let's go. So the first question of the poll, okay, we're going to give the answers. Okay. The first question is, what do you think UAACC stands for? And before you tell us the answer, we're going to poll the people in the audience. I'm going to give 4 choices. Okay, UAACC, the United Africana Academic College Community, the Umoja American Athletes Courageous Compound, the United African Alliance Community Center, or the Unify All Africans Committed to Culture. Which one of those 4 does the UAACC stand for? How do we want to use it? Mama Lily, you want the first hand? Come on up. Number 3, the United African Alliance Community Center. Is that correct, Mama Lily? All right, Mama Lydia Curtis with the, what's the name of your organization? Safari? Oh gosh, Sadiki Educational Safaris. All right. So how did our Zoom family do?
Zoom family did very well. 73% got that one correct.
All right. I wonder who got the Umoja American Athletes Courageous Compound.
No one put that, thankfully. People got tricked by the Unify All Africans Committed to Culture.
It's all good. So the next question is, and we did not quite, I don't think we actually covered this, so we'll see who got this one correct. What mountain is Mama C's compound directly at the foot of? Choose only one. Mount Sinai, Mount Wakanda, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Meru. It's a trick question. I said directly at the foot. Baba Senghor, were you the first one? Nah. Okay, Kathy. No. Let's have one of the sisters. Meru. Yeah. Meru. It is between Meru and Kilimanjaro, but it's most closely right directly at the foot.
We're in the foothills of Mount Meru.
Well, how did our Zoom family do, Baba Uchenna?
Zoom family, that was a tough one. 27% got Mount Meru, but 53% said Mount Kilimanjaro. And from
the Kilimanjaro is like 30 miles as the crow flies, if y'all know what that phrase is. Yes, but you can see it if you just look over there. It's right there.
Yes, I know when I first went there, someone I went there was supposed to have been climbing it. I don't know where they actually got to the top. I know they got a certificate, but I'm gonna leave that one alone.
So you go first to keep your Kathy one, but she also has an organization. What organization you have, Kathy?
I think it's Pilot Wings for girls.
Oh, is that Kathy? I didn't even recognize you over there in the lights were all there. How you doing? Mama Kathy Mo. Yeah, ID, Allie Green. Mama, I'm sorry. The mask. I got my mask. I'm sorry, I had to do this because, you know, I'm all matched up. Okay. Okay. What did you learn about today that you did not already know? Choose all that apply. You only have 2 answers. Number 1, why Pete O'Neill is in exile. Number 2, information about the UAACC. Let's just see a show of hands here. What did you find out about today that you did not already know? How many folks knew that why Pete O'Neill was in exile? Did not know, didn't know. But you think you learned a little bit about that today? What about information about the United African Alliance Community Center? Did you learn about that? So what about our Zoom audience, Uchenna?
That question did not make it onto our Zoom poll, unfortunately.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, I have a couple more questions. Did those make it in?
Yes, they did.
Okay, the next one is COINTELPRO is, choose one. COINTELPRO. Number 1 is a form of Bitcoin currency. COINTELPRO, Bitcoin, you know. Or number 2, a one secret illegal program of the FBI to disrupt and destroy Black leaders and movements. Which one? Bitcoin? We got Bitcoin. Everyone call it out here. Number 2. And what about our Zoom audience? How did they do? Did anyone choose Bitcoin currency?
Apologies, that one did not make it on either. The next one I have is where her.
Oh, you got it, Mama. My ear, Titileo. Okay, congratulations. Where is the O'Neill's compound located? Now listen carefully. Where is the O'Neill's compound located? Algiers, Algeria. Embasani Village, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Kansas City, Missouri. Or Embasani Village, Arusha, Tanzania. Now you're only going to get this if you know.
That's somebody
else. You the travel K. Oh, in the audience.
I would say, you said 2. The first one in Tanzania.
The first one in Tanzania was Dar es Salaam. The second one in Tanzania was Arusha.
I'm going to go with number 2.
Which is Arusha. That is correct. It's Arusha, it's not Dar. It's Arusha. And so the only other ones was about Ile Imole. Yeah, okay.
that one was able to answer, and 60% of our.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zoom. Yeah, I'm sorry. How did Zoom answer?
No problem. They did very well. 60% said Arusha, 33% said Dar es Salaam.
Okay, so it is Arusha. Yeah. So we learned something. Near the foothills of Mount Meru in Arusha, Tanzania. Are you inspired to join in more activities and programs of Ile Imole? Yes, no, maybe, or I want more information. Let's just see how Zoom answered. Are you inspired to join in more activities and programs of Ile Imole?
80% said yes, and 20% said I want more information.
Okay, great. We want to make sure that they get that more information. And the last question is, which Ile Imole activities interest you? And choose all that apply. Can you read off the activities of Ile Imole, Baba Uchenna?
Yes, Mama. So the top with 67%, with two-way tie with 67%, were the first Sunday services and the rites of passage programming. Next, at 60%, was the water ritual. After that, at 53%, was the Baba Luaye healing ritual. And then last, at 27%, was the baby blessing ceremony. And real
other activities that didn't quite make it in the poll, Mama
our Orisha feast.
Our Orisha feast.
Yes, and then we do consecration.
Yes.
And training.
Right, a consecration and spiritual initiation and training and a Orisha feast. All of these are activities of Ile Imole that you can find at www.ileimole.com. ILEIMOLE.com. And with that, thank you.
I'm so sorry, Mama. I hate to interrupt. I have to say this one more piece. There was one more question. It was, if you went to Tanzania, would you stay at Mama C and Baba Pete's compound? 100% of attendees said yes.
That's a great one to end. And on Baba Uchenna, can you let us know who won what, or just how we're gonna, some of these we're gonna have to give in absentia, but I do have 2 of these books available. These are for Mama C, right? Okay. She's gonna take those back.
So the winners need to put their contact information in the chat center.
Okay. Uchenna, if the winners can put their contact information in the chat so we can send their gifts to them for winning this trivia. And I think after we close, we will compliment the folk who are here in the room. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so as everyone's putting that in the chat, we really want to thank everyone. We want to thank our sponsors again. We want to thank our elder women. We want to thank all of the attendees. And oh, good. Let's hear the wisdom.
Have the winners email their address to you.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. So rather than put your information in the chat, email your information to info@ileimole.com. info@ileimole.com. That's info@ileimole.com. And maybe, Uchenna, you can put that in the chat so people can see that more clearly. Mama C, thank you.
Thank you. You were perfect.
Thank you, everyone, for our in-person attendees. Thank you, Baba Kava, for having us on your radio show this Monday, African Deep Thought. Thank you for always opening that space for us. Thank you, Baba Zulu, Baba Sendor, Ia Kathy, Ia Only Person, Okonkwo Kosowa Bakan, Baba Kaleche, Mama Lydia Curtis, to the family of Mama C. We are so thankful for you and the support I've been seeing you all for the time that you've been here. Thank you so much. Baba, Professor Kola Bimbola, we say thank you. I just say hi, thank you. 1,000 thanks is not enough for you, Mama and Teacher. You did an excellent job as usual. All the members of Ile Imole, and of course, we want to thank our precious Soyini. Check her out. Amazing. And to you, Uchenna for teching. Thank you, Uchenna. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. And Mama, thank you for gracing our presence. And to the Zoom attendees, thank you. May God bless you. May you have a pleasant evening. Odaba, we're getting ready to eat, y'all. Y'all ready? All right.